What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the airport. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether the Miami Heat have officially cemented themselves as the favorite in the East to wrap up the 1 seed. We're going to be talking about the implications of the 1 seed, the Heat's really good win against the Celtics last night in Boston, a lot of other things, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned till the end of the video. Leave a like and subscribe and comment down below any video suggestions you guys have, any hot takes you guys have, any questions you guys have, so I can interact with you guys as much as I can below in the comment section. But let's get right into it. So as we all know, the Miami Heat just clinched their spot in the playoffs last night by beating the Boston Celtics 106-98. It was a really good win. The Boston Celtics were almost fully healthy. I know Robert Williams being injured changes things for them, but apart from him, I think everyone else played who was a meaningful player for them. The Heat, I think, only had Caleb Martin as an injury. Apart from that, I think everyone else played. We saw a lot of big contributions from a lot of different players in a Heat uniform. The game started off, it was a defensive game. Jaylen Brown came out the gate very hot, scoring 11 points. The first 11 points for Boston were all scored by JB. He had a couple of tough threes, and the Celtics started to pull away a little bit at the end of the first quarter, but Tyler hit a tough three to beat the buzzer to cut the lead to 4. In the second quarter, we kind of rallied, and with the help of Bam and Jimmy, we were able to take a lead into halftime, a 1-point lead. The third quarter was when the Celtics really started hurting us in transition. Our defense in transition was really not good in the third quarter. A lot of fast break layups and ones. Turnovers were really hurting us early and in the third quarter as well. And Marcus Smart was a pest defensively. Even Tatum had a couple of steals. Daniel Tice had a transition and one lob. So the third quarter was tough. The third quarter was not easy, but the fourth quarter was when we really turned on the screws defensively, and we held the Celtics to 15 points. Only 3 made field goals out of 18 shots in the fourth quarter. We did a tremendous job defensively in the fourth quarter, and offensively we were getting to all of our spots. Kyle Lowry was absolutely huge, magnificent with 6 3-pointers. Jimmy Butler hit a couple of mid-range shots. He was huge in this game. Defensively, he did an amazing job on Tatum and Brown whenever he was switched onto them. Bam was really good getting to the free throw line. In the first half, only scored 7, but in the second half scored 10, was a lot more aggressive. Defensively, he was there, challenged a dunk from JB, challenged Jason Tatum's shots. He was really good. And then Max Strus, Maximum Strus, the Strusinator, whatever you want to call him. This guy showed up and had huge defensive plays. I haven't been the biggest fan of Strus's defense, but you got to give him credit, man. He was really good defensively, especially at the end. He's becoming a good team defender, and he blocked Jaylen Brown's shots a couple of times. He drew a charge on Jason Tatum, and it was just all effort by Strus. It probably has to be because there's a chip on his shoulder playing against a team that cut him, his former team in the Celtics. But yeah, Max Strus was huge. 7 rebounds was also something that cannot go understated, because we were basically running a lineup of him at the 3 and Jimmy at the 4 down the stretch. So we didn't really have any big bodies down low apart from Bam, and it was really on Strus to provide a lot of the boxing out and rebounding along with Bam and Jimmy. So he did an exceptional job with that. So shout out to Strus, man. He was amazing. He was really good. So that is that. As far as the Heat and Celtics game is concerned, I like how Dwayne Dedmon had a pretty bad first half, but then bounced back and had a good second half. Tyler was pretty good on the glass. Kyle, as I said, was shooting is getting a lot better as we gear up into playoff time. And yeah, it was a really good gritty, grinded out win. It felt like a playoff game. We shot the ball from the 3 pretty well, and we limited them. And I thought that we did a really good job slowing their clutch offense down. and we got a huge win because now we are 2 games ahead of the Celtics for the number 1 seed. We are 1 game ahead of the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken, and the Bucks play tonight. I'm pretty sure the Bucks play Brooklyn tonight. Brooklyn and Milwaukee. This is going to be a game I'm going to be watching for sure because obviously it impacts the Heat. But I also do want to check Brooklyn out because we haven't seen too many games with Kyrie and KD playing, and this is going to be a really fun game to watch. But we're going to be talking about Brooklyn because, as I said, the Heat have cemented the 1 seed. Sorry, not the 1 seed. The Heat have cemented a playoff spot. We haven't cemented the 1 seed yet. We're only 1 game ahead of the Bucks. But the Heat are right now betting favorites to finish as the 1 seed. We have 5 games left. Those 5 games are not the toughest. I think we played the Bulls, we played the Raptors, and I think we played 3 pretty easy teams, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think, the Hornets, the Hawks, and the Magic. So the Hornets and the Hawks will be a test. The Magic should be a pretty easy win, but anything can happen in this league. I expect us to go like 4-1 in these games, just to just because I think we're getting ourselves back in that groove. We snapped that 4-game losing streak against Sacramento, and I think we are finding our offense back. The spacing is a lot better. The adjustment that Spo made to the rotation, inserting Max Strus in the starting lineup because of the net ratings that he has as a starter and the net rating that Duncan has as a bench, and all those analytics that were taken into consideration with that looks like it's paying off. I think we're bouncing back at the right time as we gear up into playoff mode. But as I said, is the 1 seed this valuable is the question that we're going to be answering today, because a lot of Heat fans are saying that they do not want the 1 seed because they're afraid they're going to play Brooklyn in the first round. Listen, I am a believer that Brooklyn is going to end up with the 7 seed. And this is after the play-in tournament. I think that Brooklyn and Cleveland will match up in the first play-in game, because I think Toronto is 2 games above Cleveland right now. Cleveland is struggling. Cleveland is struggling without Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Both of their bigs are out. Evan Mobley's out for 2 more games. Jared Allen is out for a while. I'm not sure what the timetable on his return is, but both of their all-star. Jared Allen is the all-star, but their all-star and the Rookie of the Year most likely are out for the foreseeable future, and they're slipping. They're 2 games behind the Raptors. They just lost last night, they're not in a good spot right now because they're probably gonna have to play Brooklyn in the first play-in game, and I would take Brooklyn to win that game. Kyrie, the mandate was lifted so he can play home games, but this game is not going to be at home. This game is going to be in Cleveland anyway, so that you don't even have to worry about that because Cleveland doesn't have any mandates. So he's going to play in this game. Kyrie against his old team. KD, I'm taking Kyrie and KD in that game, so I think they'll jump up to 7 because I think they'll beat the Cavs in the first play-in game. So I think you don't want to fall to 2 if you want to play Brooklyn. If you don't want to play Brooklyn, because I think 1 is fine. Because I think we'll probably play Cleveland in the first round, or the winner of Cleveland and the winner of the Hawks and the Hornets game. Whichever one wins that game between the Hawks and the Hornets, that team is probably going to play Cleveland because they're probably going to lose to the Nets. And whichever team wins that game will probably play us in the first round if we finish with the 1 seed. So I think finishing with the 1 seed is fine because I firmly believe that Brooklyn will beat the Cavs. Especially without Jared Allen, because I don't know when he's coming back. Evan Mobley, he's gonna be back, but he's missing 2 more games, so they're gonna definitely slip, I think, because the Raptors are on a roll right now. I don't think the Raptors are gonna fall to 7. Neither are the Bulls. So I think you're gonna see the Nets and Cleveland play in the first playing game, and I think the Nets will win that game, and they'll probably jump up to 7. I think the Nets will end up at 7, and they'll probably play Milwaukee or whoever is at number 2 right now. Milwaukee's at number 2 right now, but it might be Philly, it might be Boston. But I think they'll play whoever's at 2 in the first round. And if that's us, then we got a tough first round matchup, which is why I do want for us to secure this 1 seed. But if that's not us, then I think we're chilling. We won't have to play the Nets till later. Now, by all means, we're not trying to duck anybody because I think we can beat Brooklyn. I think we've shown that 3 times out of 4 we've beaten them. They blew us out last game, but we were just going through a bad period. I think that we can handle Brooklyn if we need to. I think we have the bodies to throw at them to slow their offensive players down. But it's going to be tough. It'll not be easy. I would much rather play Cleveland in the first round than Brooklyn. I know Cleveland has the size, but I just think that they're just very inexperienced. And I really think that that's not going to be too much of a test for us. I think we'll beat them in 5 games. Whereas Brooklyn, I think that's for sure a 6-7 game series, and it could go either way. So, yeah, I think the 1 seed is the move, man. I think the 1 seed is definitely the move because the Nets, like I said, I think it's very unlikely that they stay at 8 because I think they're going to play the Cavs in the first round. I think they're going to beat the Cavs, and I think they're going to jump up to 7 when it's all said and done, and they're going to play whoever's at 2 in the first round. So I don't think falling to the 2 is the move. I think staying at 1 is the move as we enter playoffs. As far as playoff rotations are concerned, it looks like Victor Oladipo's experimentation time is done. I don't think we're going to see him too much, which I feel sorry for him because, I obviously am a big fan of his and I want to see him come back to his full former self. But, him playing right now, it's at the expense of the team, and it's hurting the team right now because when he's on the court, he just he doesn't fit with Tyler off the bench because both of them need the ball in their hands. He's not this exceptional shooter. Defensively, he's fine, but it's like I'd much rather trust a Gabe Vincent who's been consistent for us all season. I know he had 0 points last night, but he's been consistent for us all season. Even a Caleb Martin. You could possibly see with this rotation change of Max Strus being in the starting lineup, you could possibly see Duncan Robinson not be in the playoff rotation. If he is, it's going to be an 11-man rotation because I don't see Caleb Martin missing the playoff rotation. I think Caleb Martin is a lock for playoffs. Unless what happens is he takes Gabe Vincent out the rotation, puts Tyler at the 1 off the bench, Duncan at the 2, and Caleb at the 3, and just goes with that. And if we need to play Gabe or Keith, but I don't see Caleb Martin missing the playoff rotation. I just think he's too much of a factor defensively, and being a guy who can hit corner threes, an athletic slasher. I think he's just too valuable of a piece. So Spo has some work to do because there's a lot of guys who deserve minutes, but that's a good problem to have because it's not like we're dealing with a tough spot right now. We're coming off a nice 2-game winning streak. We play Chicago. That's a crucial game. But yeah, it's a good period for the Heat right now. We're probably gonna wrap up the video there. Let me know what your thoughts are about the Miami Heat, the 1 seed. And yeah, I'll see y'all later as always. Peace.